What? I feel like every single time we're so shocked that we're still going, but at some point we're gonna get used to it. But
Yep.
yeah,
We're going
today's
to say
episode,
200 and something.
but yeah, it'll get to that for sure. It'll definitely get to that. It's gonna take us time and we're learning as well as we're going through it, but we're so happy that we're doing this and we're able to serve parents and teenagers. And today's episode is a teen special, which is
Yes.
exciting. Last week we did a parent special, but this week is a teen special. So for all teenagers who are here, this is for you. And for all parents, please stay because you can, show your teens and you can also learn from this as well. But yeah, Susan, why don't you tell everyone who you are?
So we are at Teen Talks, and with Susan, it's me. I'm older, mom, educator, and Rehan, who is younger, just out of teenagehood. Actually, you just had your big 21st birthday, which is a big
Just
deal,
had just
especially
had
here in
my
the States.
21st birthday. I know. I can drink legally everywhere in the world, apparently. Um,
Yes.
which is good because for everyone who knows me, I absolutely love to drink alcohol, which just isn't true because I've never even tried alcohol. But
Well, I remember when I turned 21, I celebrated a lot.
uh,
Different,
but
as
yeah,
I think we've talked about, different. I grew up a little differently.
yeah.
I guess.
But I think this is it's actually a good segue because today what we're going to be talking about is self-awareness for teenagers,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
right.
And
Do you want to make that choice or?
exactly. And I think that's one of the biggest things about self-awareness is it helps you make decisions in life, right? It helps you identify what you believe is right and what you believe is wrong. It helps you out in so many different ways. So I think that we'll talk a little bit about our experiences, Susan, and we'll just share any advice, any tips and things that we can to help the teenagers out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can start with me because I was a teenager, believe it or not. I was a teenager at one point. I know it's hard to believe, but many, many, many moons ago, I was a teenager and times were different. I understand, totally understand that today is totally different from back when I was a teenager. However, there are some things that are universal. Um, I unfortunately did not believe in myself as far as I was not self-aware and I didn't believe in who I was. I didn't acknowledge that I wanted to be like everybody else. I wanted to be accepted, which is very common, right? But I didn't think about what I really wanted. I didn't really think about who I was and what I was bringing to the world, none of that stuff. And so I have to say that when I was a teenager, instead of following what I was, what I wanted, I followed the crowd. I I just went with my circumstances. I didn't have any really solid direction.
Mm.
And it caused me to make some poor choices. And I got into some trouble at times. And so I think that especially today, there's so many more uh, bells and whistles and little carrots that are getting your attention, over here, over here, over here, over here, over here. And it's probably way harder than it was when I was younger.
Yeah.
So, and you're living in that world and have lived in it. So from your perspective, what do you see out there and how do you think you can help the teens that are listening?
Yeah, well, you mentioned something that it hit me right away. Is like you wanted to be accepted by others. And the whole
That was
idea
number
behind,
one.
yeah,
Number one.
it's the number one thing. We as kids and as younger people, as teenagers, like even me, like to this day, I was just telling Susan because I'm a soccer player, and when you're going through tryouts and stuff like that, the whole idea there is like you want the coaches and the other players to see you and accept you and recognize you as a player or as an individual. And that's something that even, yeah, at the age of 21 and even in your adult life, like it's something that is it's the reality of things. You know, you
Yeah,
want other people to accept you. You want other people to see you for who you are. But there's a layer that you have to uncover before that, and that is to accept yourself. It's to accept who you are and be in touch with who you are. And that's where the self-awareness comes in, right? To know who you are, what you want, what your values are. And you know, I would say that once you start developing that, because it's something that never stops, you'll always be developing your self-awareness, but
yeah,
once you start purposefully developing it, then you're going to be on a journey where you're setting yourself up for an amazing life, because you'll always be okay no matter what, which
right.
is such a good feeling. It is such a good feeling.
That's the feeling everyone wants.
Exactly.
And as a teenager to get to that point when you're so young, it's going to change your entire life going forward, which me, that didn't come to me until way, way, way later in life. And if I would have been self-aware when I was young, I think I would have done so many different better things. I would have reached the point where I'm at now so much earlier, to the point where it changed everything. So Rehan, how do you get there? It's like easy to say,
Yeah.
oh, let's just magically love ourselves and be out there, and
Yeah.
how do you do it?
My answer to you is going to be this. There is no formula. There is no universal formula to become more self-aware. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's going to be going through different things. Everyone's circumstances are different. The one thing that can change, and one decision that you can make as a teenager right now, for any teenagers who are watching or listening to this, is to decide that you are going to make an effort to be more self-aware. And so that would be like the first step. And then from there, there's so many different things that you can start doing. Being more curious, trying new things, new experiences, and healthy experiences. I know that there are, you can go and you can try different things outside, like, drugs and alcohol and things like that. Those are also new experiences. But ask yourself, like, is this a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Can it lead me in the right direction? Can it possibly lead me in a direction that I don't want to follow, potentially? So ask yourself those questions. Ask yourself, like, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Right?
Mhm.
Where do you see yourself? Who do you see yourself being in 10 years? Because then when you're going to make decisions from that point on, then you're going to ask, okay, I have a decision to make here. Does it align with who I want to be in 10 years? Right? Does it make sense for me to do this? And I think one of the biggest things that teenagers and younger people face, especially, and I'm sure, even older adults face this as well, is the peer pressure, right? You see
Mhm. Yeah.
people from on the outside, they're doing this, they're doing that, they're maybe going to parties, or they're hanging out with people and doing all these different things. And you're like, well, I want that. I want to be like that. Oh, I want to be that kid who everyone looks at and is laughing with and doing it. But ask yourself, like, is that really what you want? And if your answer to that is yes, then ask yourself, then why? Like, what is it? Right? Why do you want that thing? And all I'll say is to kind of just close this, because I know that I probably said a lot there, but it all comes down to just honesty. If you're able to just sit down with yourself and be honest and just reflect, like, I would say just take a journal, and I know journal, I'm not saying like, you're writing a diary and like every single day, dear diary, like blah 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 blah. I'm not
I
saying
did
like
that for a
do
while when
that.
I was a teenager.
And that's okay, but I'm saying, if there's some, I know that, and this might be like a stereotypical thing from like my own imagination, but I'm sure there's some people out there who are like, ew, I don't want to write in a diary. That's so ridiculous. Look,
Yeah, I think they're not called diaries anymore. You can journal.
journal, yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. Journaling.
Okay. And can
Take
I
a
just
journal.
uh,
Hmm.
interject here of what journaling could mean? Doesn't
Yeah,
necessarily mean a book like this with lined paper and you have to write like this all in neat
yeah,
rows and everything, and you have to do it every day and blah, blah, blah. No. So my daughter, she does not want to do a journal with lined paper because she's artsy and she likes to draw. And part of her journaling is just drawing and putting down thoughts. And there's nothing that you have to put, there's no rules.
no
It's just,
rules.
it's just when you're trying to figure things out, it's amazing what happens when you just start writing or drawing or putting pen or pencil or colored pencils or markers to paper. Your brain starts to eventually engage.
Yeah,
And there's no rules, like we said. And you want to make sure when you're journaling that whatever comes out, comes out.
yeah,
Because is anyone going to see this? No, only you. And you will use it to help understand and figure out what's important to you because it will come out of you.
yeah.
Oops, where'd you go?
Sorry, I just got a
Oh.
call and it went. My whole
That
screen went. I was like, "Whoa,
was
what's
kind
going
of cool
on?"
though. What we saw here was kind of cool.
Well,
So,
I'm happy. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you
yeah.
enjoyed the show. Um,
All right. So you mentioned journaling. What else?
mentioned journaling. I think, and journaling is a way to express what is happening in here and what you're feeling. And in order to get to a place like that, what I would say is to just spend time with yourself, like, look inwards. Sometimes just sit down, reflect, maybe go outside, go for a walk, find the things that you enjoy doing, those little things that maybe it's even like playing the piano or playing some sort of music or whatever it is. Like, find a way to kind of just express yourself and express the way you feel, because that could also be like another form of journaling in some way, you
Yes.
know? Just
Mhm.
find it's about finding a way to express what is going on inside so that you can just be more. And what I say
Right.
by be is like, here, life is about being, we are human beings. That's literally what we are.
Mhm.
And we're always going to be on this journey of self-discovery, about learning who we are. And the best way to do that is by looking inwards and spending time with ourselves. And I would say, literally, like, if you have not even thought about this before, but if you do want to, have more self-confidence, if you want to just be okay with who you are, then just start by finding something, like some area in your life that you enjoy and that you can use to express yourself in some way. And if you don't
Mhm.
have anything, like, I know for me, for example, it's soccer. Like, if I'm feeling, you know, sad, mad, happy, whatever it is, and I want to express that in some way, like, I'll just go out and kick a ball because it makes me feel happy. It's a way for me to express myself. If I'm like, I need to really get rid of a lot of stress, and I'll just go kick the ball around like as hard as I can. Like, that's just my way
Yeah, I was
of,
gonna say when you're upset or
yeah,
whatever, you can
just
kick that ball really hard.
exactly. And if you don't have anything like that, then that's where journaling can help. That's where all these other things can help, because it,
Meditation, which is a big
meditation,
word, which we can explain later what that actually means. But yeah.
yeah, just find something and just start with one. Just start with
Yep.
one thing, and then eventually you can, explore other things. But just start
Mhm.
with one, keep it simple, and yeah. What about you,
Another
Susan?
thing
Do
I
you have
might
anything to add?
suggest too is to really think when you're in that space and maybe when you're journaling or whatever, is to really think, what do I dream about? What is it something, what are the things that would make me like, oh my gosh, like would light me up? What are the things I want that light me up that in the either now, in next year, in 6 months, in 5 years, or when you think you're older. Some of you have no clue, but
Hmm.
some of you are like, okay, I think I would like to do this. Maybe it's I want to climb a peak, specific peak. Maybe it's I want to skydive. Maybe it's I want to go to college. Maybe it's, it doesn't matter. And it could be something short-term, long-term, medium-term, whatever. But once you start to like identify those things that for you personally, not your
Yeah.
parents, hey, sorry parents, but what they want and what you want could be entirely different.
Yeah.
And as a teenager, I think it's important for you to go, my voice, my heart, not my mom and dad's. Because sometimes their mom and dads think that they know best. And they don't always know best. They aren't mini yous. You're not a mini them. You are yourself. You were made to be you.
Yeah.
And so when you start to learn what it is that lights you up and what your dreams are, and you really write those down and think about them, it's a good place to start. And you know what? It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to just go, if I didn't have any limitations, what would I love to do? Or, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that so much because it gives you something to follow, right? It gives you some sort of guidance, and it's a way for you to actually like identify a target, right? And
Yeah.
something that you're looking towards. And as you were saying that, I was thinking about something. Also, one of the messages that I really want to express is that self-awareness and all of that, this is not about being perfect.
Oh,
Life
no.
is not about being perfect. My room right now is a mess. Okay? It is a complete
You?
mess.
What?
Yeah.
You have a messy room right now?
It looks like, I have everything like all put together. No, no, not at
Right.
all. I'm figuring things out as well in life. I'm figuring
So am
out
I.
more than we all are.
Yeah.
And
It's,
we're not perfect, but the self-awareness there is knowing that that's okay.
yeah.
Recognizing that, yes, that is the case. I don't have everything figured out. I can learn, I can grow, and that's okay. I am exactly where I need to be. I am exactly where I should be in this present moment, and that's the way it is.
Mhm.
And because I mean, I'm sure that, some of you might be watching or listening and saying, yeah, but it's easy for you to say because, you're doing this and this and this. No, 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 no. I'm just a normal person. Susan is just a normal person. Even though I am very weird, Susan, I don't know if you're a weird person. I am weird.
My kids tell me I'm
Maybe.
weird.
So there we go. We're two weird people, but we're normal people in the sense there's nothing crazy about us. Actually, maybe we are crazy too. But
That's when I have the
but
most fun.
but yeah, at the end, like we are not perfect. And
Yeah.
no one is. Even if you were to look at the person that you look up to the most, it could be a celebrity, it could be whoever. I guarantee you they do not have it all figured out. It might look that way because of what they post on social media, the videos that you see, the photos that you see. They do not have it figured out. I can guarantee you that.
And
And
what do they post? They post the good stuff. Everybody posts the good stuff,
yeah,
and I guarantee their life isn't all good stuff.
yeah,
And
100.
just remember that what you see on social is not the truth. It really
Yeah,
isn't.
yeah. There's a I kind of want to just send this home almost. And there's a speech that Matthew McConaughey gave when he received his Oscar,
Yes.
and he said something along the lines of the person who he chases is his hero, and his hero is himself in 10 years.
Yes.
And he's okay because he knows that, you know, even in 10 years' time, when he gets to that person, his hero is still going to be him in 10 years. So to he'll never be able to chase his hero. Like he'll never get there. He'll never be able to get to that spot, but that's okay because he
Yes.
understands that. And for anyone who doesn't know, Matthew McConaughey is like, one of the biggest actors in the world. Like he's search him up. He's like incredible stuff. Done
Yeah.
amazing
And
movies and
he
everything.
just came out with a book called Greenlight.
Yeah,
Greenlights, I think. It's so good. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
such a good
We'll
book.
put links to that speech. Hopefully we can find that speech
Yeah,
and the book as well. We'll put that
for
in there.
sure. Yeah, we'll put it in the description so everyone can go and watch that and check it out, check out the book and everything.
Mhm.
But he understood that he needed to his hero was himself in 10 years. It wasn't someone else. It wasn't someone
Yeah,
else's life. That's not what he's chasing. He's chasing himself in 10 years. And
yeah,
that's a level of self-awareness that if we're able to get to that point, then wow, like life is completely different in such a
right,
good way. In such a
right.
good way.
And does it matter what anyone thinks? That's
Absolutely not.
so like me when I started saying that all I wanted to be was accepted and fit in and all that, but I lost who I was, and who cares,
Yeah.
really? I mean, it doesn't matter what anyone thinks.
Yeah.
You got you just be you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so true. There's literally a TikTok that I watched like maybe 3 days ago. This guy, he's making a video saying for anyone who thinks that everyone is like looking at them in public and paying attention to them, here's an experiment to do. Take your phone, put it up, and start recording a video. Say whatever you want in the video, and look in the background and see if there's anyone who is actually paying attention, right? And they'll
Yeah.
realize that no one is. There's absolutely no one who is looking at you. There's no one who's paying attention because everyone's in their own bubble. Everyone's in their own
Yep.
world, right?
Yep. They're thinking
And
about themselves.
most of the time, yeah,
And those kids, oh, because I used to think, oh, I was intimidated by the cheerleaders and the
mm,
popular kids and all that, right? Really, like, oh, they've got it all together, everybody loves them and all that stuff.
yeah,
But you know what? Not really.
mm,
Not really. And they weren't the nicest all the time either. And
yeah,
then some of them, that was their big glory days. After high school, it was like everything went
yeah.
because they got all that notoriety in high school and then they didn't know how to achieve it in the real world
Hmm. There
because
we go.
it's totally different once you get out of high school.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
I still have so many things that I feel like I want to say, but I think we'll do that, save that for another episode.
yeah,
But,
we could go
but
on
yeah,
forever
yeah, we literally could. We literally could.
because we
Um,
care about you guys.
yeah,
We care about you. We care about what you're going through right now. And I we want to help you. We want to be here for you. We want to give you answers.
yeah,
We've gone through a lot of this, so we do have answers and we're going to try to be there for you. So
yeah,
I would highly suggest that you DM Rehan with any questions or anything
yeah.
that's going on that you're dealing with and you need help with, and we'll address it.
Yeah, please do because like it's it's not easy. It's not always easy. And the world is changing constantly. There's so much going on in the world. And
Yeah,
also understand that you teenagers, you have so much more self-awareness now and awareness of the world, of everything that's going on around than ever before because that's
yeah,
the way the world has evolved.
yeah,
So we just want to be there for you. We want
right.
to be your friends in that way, and we want to be there to support you in any way that we can. So if you do have any questions, about anything, literally about anything, please feel free. Like, yeah, you can DM me, but you can also email Susan or even reach out to her on social media because she is quite hip, you know, despite
Yeah.
despite but you might have to go on Facebook, create an account on Facebook. I'll run you guys through how to do that.
No, I'm on Instagram too.
That's true. She is on Instagram. So please, yeah, but please reach out to us if there's any questions or anything that we can do to help you in any way possible, and we'll do our best to help you out. As simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you got this.
you've
You've
got
got this.
this. You've
You
got
just
this, and
be.
it's going to be okay. You've got
Yep.
this, and it's going to be okay.
Yep. Because
Yeah,
guess what? Your body right now, what you're going through, all the changes, all the weird stuff that you go, oh my God, what is this and that? Your body or your brain right now is at the prime of life. You've got so much going on in there that if you really use it for your good, you can do amazing things.
Yeah.
I mean, this is where your innovation, your skills are developing, they're on fire.
Yeah.
So use them. Yeah, know that you're in this great place, and the things that are happening in your body are supposed to happen, and it's all good.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Awesome. 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 Well, take care, everyone. Hope that you
Yep.
enjoyed this, and we'll see you next week for another episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Take care,
You got
everyone.
this.
You got
All right.
this. Bye.
Bye.